Hello quilty friends and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and I make videos about quilting and my creative life, and this is the video you've all been waiting for, my haul from the Festival of Quilts. Anywhere that you can find me on the web is listed down in the description box below, including staying up to date with what I'm making daily on Instagram and TikTok. Now I've got 4 bags full of stuff. I went to the Festival of Quilts for 3 days. It was last weekend. I went Thursday to Saturday. It was absolutely wonderful to get to say hello and meet lots of lovely subscribers. So thank you so much if you came up to me. And thank you so much to Annette and Marianne for the lovely gifts. Those will absolutely be treasured. The first day on Thursday I went with my friend Vicky, and then Friday and Saturday I went with my sister, and she was a bad influence on me. We both had lots of fun walking around the stalls and all of the competition quilts. There are videos showing you all of those. I'll leave them in the description box below if you haven't already watched. But lots of you have enjoyed that and said they want to see what I purchased, so you know that you can trust me to go overboard when I am presented with fabric available for the purchase. So first off, we got the handmade bag. I was scared this was going to rip. I didn't have a lot of confidence in my stitches, but it was fine. The handles were just getting so heavy. But a little trick for you is we checked our bags into the cloakroom every day. So it's £3 to check in a bag, and what I wished I had done is took like an IKEA bag or something really big, like maybe one of those laundry bags that you zip up, because then both me and my sister could have put everything into one bag and just got charged once. But £3 really for saving your shoulders if you're going to do a marathon trip like we did, then yeah, it's definitely worth it. So this is my bag from the last day, but then oh, that just ripped. But then I've got several bags from other days. That bag's ripped, and this bag, the handle's completely come off. This one's really heavy. Right, so let's get into it. So first off, you know I went to visit Lily Rose Dolls, and she very kindly gifted this kit for Emma the Highland cow to me, because she said she was so grateful for all the business inquiries that she's had from the last video that I did. So if you went over to her shop, I appreciate that, and she also really appreciates it. And she's told me that in the coming weeks she's going to start offering international delivery. So this was the kit that she gave to me. So you can see her there on the back. Isn't she just adorable? I did look at it though once I got it home, and I thought, oh no, that nose. So if you watched my last video, you'll know that I had a little bit of difficulty with the nose on the last one. But this one is 16 inches, whereas the last one I think was 10. So this should be bigger and therefore a little bit easier to do. And just there at the bottom you can see the male counterpart and just some of the other gorgeous ones. I really wanted the lamb kit, but she had sold out of that. But she did have lots of patterns and things, but for me I do like a kit. And then on the Thursday, I did a workshop on Hawaiian applique, which is a technique that I've really been interested in. Whenever I see the quilts in the Festival of Quilts, I just think they're phenomenal, and I really enjoyed the class. So it's only an hour workshop that you get, so of course you don't get very far, but this was the design. I think it's called a tea leaf design. It's quite a traditional design. So we got as far as pinning it in place and then starting adding basting stitches around the front. If you followed my channel, you'll know that this is not a colour that I would usually go for. And when I was in the workshop, I thought, I can make that and give it to my mum for Christmas. But then as I was going around the show, I thought, you know what, I'm probably going to spend 20-30 hours on that, because it's all handwork and then you hand quilt it. So I decided that while I was going around, I bought a fat quarter that was pink. So I'm going to remove the blue from the backing fabric. I'll still keep that design because I will use it in the future, but I'm going to, for my first one, do it in a fabric that is to my colour taste. And that's just something that I think I'll just keep next to my armchair and I can pick up as and when and do the project. So I'm looking forward to that. So this one is all contained in a bag. So I purchased some Pearl 12 thread. These was only £1. I know that there's some others in other bags because I went back, because I've got a project that requires blanket stitch, and I was doing it in DMC thread, and I've put it on hold for a while because I wanted to do something with pearl cotton instead of the DMC. So I bought these on the first day, not really knowing what colours I might need for the project. Got home, looked at the project, and then on the second day I got some more because those was only £2, and I thought those was only £1, so I thought that those are perfect. Those was from the Cotton Patch. And then the Cotton Patch also sell lots of scraps. So these were £1.20, or I think something like 6 or 9 for £6 or £9. Can't remember which. And I just picked up an assortment of colours that I liked. This bundle was £6. I'm not I haven't opened it yet. So it looks like they're width of fabrics. So we've got a bluey one, polka dot. If you know what collection this is, just let me know, because I'm not 100% sure. But again, I just like to pick up scraps that I like, and I know that I'll be able to use in things. That is gorgeous, I love that. And I love that. And then from the Cotton Patch as well, I always buy these bags of strips. Now, I think that this year they got even thinner than previous years, but I like them because I do a lot of small pieces, I do a lot of small foundation paper piecing, and they're just great. You get lots in there that are obviously the same collection. So I think that's a Tilda collection. This one's another Tilda. And I think this one's Tilda as well. So you do get a lot in here. They are quite heavy, but you have to think about how much of it is actually usable. So they are small strips, but for me, doing things like pineapples or log cabin blocks, these are just perfect. And I just picked the ones that I liked the colours of. These have gone up slightly compared to previous years. Previously, I think there was £2.50, and now these ones were £3. And there was some bigger bags that was like the whole salvages, and they didn't have a lot of the actual fabric on, and those ones had gone up. They varied between £4 and £6, I think. But like everything, it's all gone up, hasn't it? But I do still think these are a good deal if you're into small pieces. If you're not, then there's no point. I think the one thing that caused me to go on a little bit of a spending spree was seeing so many cute and adorable like 1930s reproduction fabrics, because those are so hard to get hold of normally, and there was lots of Laurie Holt fabrics. So I just saw it and I was like, that's hard to come by, I'm going to buy it. So this was from Sew Motion, and they specialise in EPP shapes and things, but they had this gorgeous mini charm pack. I think they'd cut it themselves because it's not one that's like pre-packaged. And you can get the idea of the theme of the fabric on there. And that was only £3.50, so I thought that was a good price. Just to circle back, I should have said this at the beginning. First off, if you can't tell, this is going to be a long video. I purchased a lot. So I'm sorry about that. I did save up all year to be able to do this, so that is how I've been able to afford it. And second of all, a few people in the comments said how much were things, so that's why, where I can remember, I'll let you know how much they were, because I always find that really interesting to compare to how much it would be in your area or your country. But don't be adding the total up, because I promised my sister that I would take that information to the grave. What happens at the festival stays at the festival. And then these were from Pincushion Pantiles. I can't remember how much they were, but I think they're fat 8s. Again, I just picked up some nice ones that I liked the look of. Again, if you've watched me for a while, you'll know I've got an obsession with low volume fabrics, but I think that obsession has got to stop because I've got a whole drawer full now. It started because I needed low volumes, but now I no longer need them. The next lot are from Oak. The next lot is from Oak Apple Haberdashery, and she had lots of like Laurie Holt's and just gorgeous fabrics. So these are 1/2 metre cuts, and they was £8. So I like those. I also got this one. Is this Heather Ross? I'm not sure. I just saw it hanging up on the back of her stand and I was like, I love that. So I got that. And then I also picked this up, again, a 1/2 metre cut. And I told myself this year, in previous years, I've always bought like charm packs, layer cakes, small cuts, scraps. But I said this year, to make things more usable, at least try and buy fat quarters, if not 1/2 metres, if I can, because they're just much more usable, especially if you're going to make bags and things. So this was 95 centimetres and was £8, which is quite good. That's the price of a 1/2 metre of some of the others. And then I got this Hometown cheetah print, which was £16. It's a Laurie Holt fabric. I'll just open it and show you because I absolutely love it. And I think I'm just going to leave it as it is, quilt it and put some binding on it. It's double that and it's really wide. So yeah, I think I'll just bind and quilt it. So where I can, I'll try and leave the links to the shops down below, because I was speaking to this lady and it says that people will go crazy for her fabrics because they was adorable, her stand was amazing. So I'll leave the links where I can below. And then from Somerset Designs or Somerset Patchwork, I can't quite remember, but I bought the pattern for Mrs. Billings' coverlet. They actually had the original on display at the festival. So if you've watched the previous video, you will have seen that, and I just absolutely adore this quilt. I've really gotten into this style of medallion quilting. This one was expensive, the pattern, but the pattern is very detailed and you get all of the acrylic templates with it. I think there's something like 20 or 25 acrylic templates and it's all hand pieced. So I'm thinking with this I'm going to do instead of the cream background, I'm going to do white, and then I'm going to do it all Pink Liberty scraps. So I'm just going to do it totally scrappy. I bought some Pink Liberty to start it off, but you need 10 meters of white and 10 meters of the assorted fabric. So there was no way I was buying 10 meters of Liberty. That would have blown the whole budget. So I thought what I'll do is I've got loads of scraps. So I bought some pinks, some fat quarters, so I'd have more quantities, but I'm just going to keep adding to it as and when I need to. But I did buy a whole bolt of white just because it was so good value. So I got it for £7 a metre, and there's 15 metres on the roll. And because I thought it would be so good, because white fabric in larger quantities is always something that drives me to a fabric shop. I think I'll just go and get the white that I need for that, 3 or 4 metres. And then I'll buy other things as well. So I thought, just get a bolt, you've got it there then. But I think I will take 10 meters off it so I don't use it for something else. And then kit all this up with what I've got and we'll go from there. So yeah, before I start this project, I want to finish a few more first. So this one will be in the pipeline. From Her Business, I also bought the Star a Day pattern. It's over there though, because I have started it, so I will make a video on that, but it's essentially making 1 star a day with hand piecing, and then after 365 days, you've got a whole quilt. I am going to adapt the pattern slightly, so I'll fill you in on that in a separate video. Now this bag just ripped again when I picked it up. So this was from A Beautiful Thing. Absolutely love her Instagram page. So I was like, I've just got to. So I treated myself to a Ruby Star Fat Quarter bundle. And this is the Dog Park bundle. Oh, I just love it. So give you a flick through. I'll show you my favourite one. Let me open it. I just love that print, and it's in a different colourway. Oh, it's in a blue. I just love that. So I've got a quilt in mind for this one. I actually bought the pattern, but I think I'm going to omit the 2 darkest fabrics. So the 2 browns, I'll probably keep that one in, and then I'll just do the pinks, peaches and blues. And I'll also mix in there's a few low volumes in there, and I'll mix in a few from Stash. But this is the pattern that I've decided to do. So it's by Emily Dennis, and it's the Star Pop 2. And this was £14. I thought this was quite expensive for a pattern, but I thought, well, while I'm there, I'll choose a pattern. She had lots of patterns. While I'm there, I'll choose a pattern, and then it's all ready to go, because sometimes half my problem is that I'll buy a bit for the project and then I never get around to using it because I'm like, oh, I don't know what to put that with. So yes, I was trying to buy things that would complete the whole projects and the whole kits for me. So I got that. And also from her stand, I'm not sure what make of fabric this was, but I bought this cream. It's more like a natural colour with these little crosses on it. I bought 3 meters of this because I want this to go with some Indian block printing fabric. So I wanted something that had a really nice earthy natural feel to it, and this will be an upcoming project. This completes my checklist for another quilt. So again, I had a list with me. I thought I need X, Y and Z to complete certain things, so I was happy that I did stick to a list. No, I didn't stick to a list. I took a list, I bought everything on the list, but then I bought extras. So it wasn't that I stuck to a list at all. Then also from A Beautiful Thing, I really love the Starry collection from Ruby Star. So I bought ½ meter in both of these sizes, and they were £8.50. I was going to get a ½ meter of the pink, but I thought, no, I'll get a fat quarter. I'll save myself a little bit of money. £4 I saved. And then this one was in the reduced. This is a fat quarter of all the tea bags, so I really like that. Is it upside down? No, so it's not directional. Some of them are upside down. And I really love the salvages on the Ruby Star fabrics. And then from a stand, I can't remember the name, I got a chain piecing thread cutter. So you pack it away so it goes flat. And then you open it out, and this becomes the stand for it. And you pop it in there, and what you can do, and what I liked about it, is you can put rotary cutter blades in there. So what I'll probably do is, once I've used a fabric blade and it doesn't cut fabric anymore, I'll put it in here because it will still cut thread with a little bit of pressure, so it'll help me use up my blades, I think. If I find that doesn't work very well, I'll just use a fresh blade in there. I think you just use that screw there and the 2 parts pop apart. So I thought that was quite good. This was only £7.95, so I thought that was a good deal, because some of the ones that you see online are a little bit more expensive, and I like the fact that you can just pack it down, because I often go to my sister's for sewing. So it just packs down like that, and it's nice and safe from the blades. On to bag number 3. No, bag number 3. So this was from a company called White Gecko. They had their Bolt fabrics half price. So this was a Laurie Holt fabric, because for one of my projects I need some greens. And I also picked this one up, but I don't think it doesn't go with the colour palette. I bought some fat quarters to go with this project as well, but the green doesn't go, but I probably will use the green in other things. Now on to the Liberty. So this is the Alice Caroline stall. So on the first day, I didn't go to the Liberty stall straight away. I think we probably went about 12 o'clock, and it was just so busy. I thought I'll go back later, but I didn't manage to go there till the second day when my sister was there, and I was like, right, we're going there first thing, and we just went there straight away. And I bought a lovely mixture of fat quarters and then the £1 scrap pieces that they do. So these are all the fat quarters. I bought the fat quarters mainly for that quilt that I've shown you, but also for the 100 blocks. Sometimes you can't get the amount that you need out of the £1 scraps, and I've got lots of Liberty projects on the go, so I'll be able to use them all. They are expensive, the fat quarters. They're £6 each. So these were probably the most expensive fat quarters, but they're always £6 wherever you go, from Alice Caroline anyway. But other fat quarters range between £2.50 or all the way up to £4.25, and I did buy some that was £4.25 because, again, I thought that's going to be hard to come by elsewhere, so I bought it. So got this one, a Betsy, but this Betsy has got like glitter on it. I don't know if you can see that. So they were all pinks, the fat quarters that I bought, because that's the colour scheme for the Mrs. Billings and the colour scheme for my life. So we got a good amount of the fat quarters, and then I did also get a good amount of the scraps. So I'll do a quick fire round showing you the scraps that I got. My sister was there helping me out. She was like, what about this one? She knows what I like. I've had this before. So a lot of them I've had before, but I know that I like them. This is one of my favourites. It looks like embroidery, doesn't it? I love this one. I did notice as well that I thought these were smaller than previous years. Some pieces are larger than others, so you do have to root around to get a good one. But yeah, I thought they was a little bit smaller this year. Just love the colours on that, so nice, isn't it? I think I got 30 of these, or 35, 36. I know I've already had that one, but I just loved it. Love that one with the snakes. See, this one is longer and thinner. Oh, I got 2 of those. Is this getting boring now? I'm so sorry. I don't know how many of those I got, quite a few. I know that I'll use them though. See, that's quite a small piece really, isn't it? But still, for £1, I think it's good value. You get a good mixture. So those are all of the ones from Liberty. From a stand called Love from Beth, I got some fat 8s. She designs all of her fabric herself. I just think they're just such wonderful, vibrant colours. Those, I think I got 5 for £9 off the top of my head. And then again, back to the cotton patch the second day. And then again, back to the cotton patch the second day. I got more of the pearl threads. Oh God. I tried to stock up on colours that I thought will be useful. Again, I'd wrote a list. You still don't know, do you, until you actually start using them in the project, but I thought they're just such good value. They're such good value for just £1. It's worth having in the stash. That's what I tell myself anyway. Again, back to the cotton patch, more low volume scraps. Like I need more. And these ones are good sizes. And I just shove them in a bag and you get a good variety in there. I think off the top of my head that was about £3. I'm not 100% sure though, because these was all differently priced, I think. And then I got a few more little scraps. There is one really nice piece of scraps that I got. I think it must be in another bag. So yeah. So here's my pink batik that I bought for the Hawaiian applique. So I think that's much more my personality. And I think that was only £2 something, maybe £2.50. So now on to the bramble patch. I bought these. This is for a project that I've got in mind. Again, it'll be on an upcoming video, so I'll show you more of that. But I needed quite a few brownie and sandy colours, so I got those because I thought those are quite hard to get online. But I also wanted them to match like the Laurie Holt fabrics and just go the same sort of vibe. So I thought, while I'm in person, just get them, because that's really big advantage for me with shopping at these type of things. You never come by this many quilt shops in such a small space that you can go wild. And the Bramble Patch are very lucky because they have a loyalty card system and they were still operating their loyalty card. So if you go regularly, you can collect loyalty points, so to speak. So those are what I got. I think every £20 you spend, you get a stamp, and then once you spent £200, yeah, 200, you get £20 off, which isn't too bad. Me and my sister both have a loyalty card, and we do regularly get £20 off, as you can imagine. And then I bought this one, just loved it. I don't know if it'll go in that project, but just loved it. Oh, here's another £1 scrap. I really like that fabric. Is it by Lewis and Irene? It's like the bubbles. Whenever I see that, I like to get that. It's a very good like blender. Here's the scrap that I bought. This was from the cotton patch. I can't remember how much it was. I've took the outer bag off. Isn't that just amazing? It looks like it's been pulled from their archives in the 90s, or it's got a salvage on. So it says KP Kids & Co. I might have to have a look, see if I can see that online. But it is very 90s, isn't it? I just thought it was just fabulous. Be gorgeous for a bag or something, won't it? So I'm sure I'll use it for something, but it wasn't very much. It was £1 something. It was quite cheap for the amount that's there. And then from this business, I'm not sure how to pronounce that second word. I bought a red fat quarter bundle of Indian block prints because this is the same red as some other fabrics that I've got. So let me show it you next to this cream. So doesn't that just go really nicely? And I didn't want to use white for this project. I didn't think white would be best, so this cream goes nice. And then from the Jen Kingwell stand, you might have saw in the previous video me saying, shall I buy this pattern? It was the Winky Stars. I wish I'd have bought it there and then, because I went back the second morning about 10, 11 o'clock and they were sold out. They were sold out of so many things. So I bought the foundation paper piecing papers for the Lamingtons for Tea quilt. So that is the block that it makes. And then you put it all together and it has like a repeating design. It's got a little bit of sashing in between. I don't know if I'll do the sashing because I quite like how it looks just all together like that. And in here you get 80 sheets. Let me open it so I can see. This was £20. And in the end, I'm quite glad. I can't get it open because it's making my nails hurt. I am glad that I didn't get yet another hand piecing pattern. God, you know what I'm like. Yeah, I'm not sure, but she told me there's enough in there for a quilt. And then from the Indian Block Printing Co. It's a bit crinkly in there. So when my dad went to India earlier this year, he actually bought me some block prints back, some block printing blocks. I just thought that was amazing. They spent ages trying to find them in an Indian market for me so that I could have a go. He knew it'd be right up my street. And again, I thought I'm going to wait till I go to the festival so that I can get the equipment that I need, the plate, the paints, the pressing mats, all of that, I thought, and then I'll speak to the guy there. And he was so wonderful and helpful. I told him what the situation was and he says, well, please go home and use any paint that you've got and make sure that the blocks actually press a good print, because I would hate to sell you loads of things and that the blocks aren't quite right. And the blocks came out beautifully. I took them back to him the next day and showed him the prints and he said brilliant. And I bought a starter kit, and that also came with some block prints as well, so we've got enough to be going on with. My sister also bought a starter kit, so she's got some stamps that she likes and we're going to get together and we're going to do lots of block printing together. And then we said that we're going to have my mother-in-law over and we'll do lots of block printing because she was also obviously in India with my dad. So it comes in this lovely block printed bag. And these are the colours that I chose. So I chose a pinky, a green, a lilac, and then like a blue. But I tried to get them in all of the same colour ranges. And my sister, she got, as you can imagine, the opposite to what I got. So between us, we've got quite a few. Now, these stamps that my dad brought back were like traditional Indian designs, which we absolutely loved, but we said let's not buy more Indian designs. I think he bought me 5 or 6. So we said let's get a variety and get different styles of stamps so that we've got a good selection. So it comes in this box. Oh. And these are the stamps that I went for. I think I went a little bit over budget. You get something like £25 of stamps included, but you just pay the extra if you go over. So I got extras, I think. So I got a lot of flowers. My sister got a lot of leaves, and she got like a bee, some very small ones, and a beetle, like a dung beetle. It just looks amazing. Not a dung beetle, but yeah. So you get a tea towel, so it's a cotton tea towel. You also get a canvas tote bag. You get instructions, you get the paint tray, and then you get a foam mat that helps you get a really good press on the stamp he was telling us. So yeah, I'll keep you updated with what we make. But here's some examples there of what you can do, and I took loads of pictures on the stand so that we've got lots of inspiration. But perhaps I'll make a vlog video of me and my sister doing the block printing, and I can share it with you all. And there's the name of the business, and also you can see just the wonderful like designs and layouts that you can do. So we're on the last bag. If only you could see the table in front of me now. I got enough to last me more than a year. But I am so glad that I've got things to complete projects, or that I actually bought enough to follow through with the projects, because like I said, I usually just buy bits and pieces and then I never have enough. I can't remember the name of the business that I bought these from, but they're just leftover bits of jelly rolls, and there was £5.85, which I think is quite expensive. There's 5 strips in there, but you know what I'm like for low volumes. One of the things that I definitely wanted to buy was some different zips, because if you know, I've been doing a lot of bag making recently, and the zips really like add a really good finishing touch to your project. So I wanted to get lots of lovely zips and ones that I could cut down as well. So I got these. It's a metre of nylon zips, and they were £3 each. Some of them were £2.50. The plainer ones were £2.50. You only get one pull in there, so I did buy lots of different pulls as well, but those are somewhere at the bottom of the bag. From them I also bought these clasps, and they said they were something like C-clamp clasps, but it's like a little magnetic clasp, and yeah, I bought 3 of those. You don't really need to see the zipper pulls, that's boring. So now we're on to the fat quarters. So from the Fabric Townhouse, I bought this fabric. Is that Heather Ross fabric as well, I think? So that's just a fat quarter. I bought this, a ½ metre. I was just going to get a fat quarter of it, but I thought the design is so big that it would be beneficial to get a ½ metre. I don't have anything in mind for that. I just thought it's too cute to pass up. I then bought this one. This one's ½ metre, and it was only £4. Again, too good to pass. I bought this because I've got a Christmas project on the go that is this sort of shades, and it's got pinks and things in, and I don't know if I've quite got enough, so I just thought I'd get this. They actually had the fabric on the stall that my quilt is made from, so I know that it goes, and that was £8 for ½ metre. I bought this pink ½ metre for £8. I thought that's really good for a bag lining. Again, this one as well perhaps, or just using for low volumes. That's £8. I think I bought this from there, I can't remember, but I've eyed this up at every quilt show that I've been to. I've seen this and I'm like, yes, I need to get it. And then from White Cottage Country Crafts, I think they were called. I like to try and keep their leaflets in with what I've purchased. I bought some low volumes. That's just a fat 1/8, that's non-related. But these three, our low volumes to go with this bundle. So that will go with this quilt. So again, I think I needed 1.5 meters, so I've got 1 meter of that. She didn't have any more, so that's why I've added that in. So I've got 1/2 meter of that. So yeah, from Kaleidoscope Fabrics. I think this is a Tula Pink fabric. I just saw it and I thought, gotta have that. But again, normally I would have bought maybe like a fat quarter of that, but I've got 1/2 meter now. It's so much more versatile for what I can actually use it for. Now, I'm not sure of the business name as to where these were from, but these have got to be my favourite fabrics that I bought all weekend. These two fruit fat quarters, that's not the best of it. These, look at these. Now, I do buy quite a few 1930s fabrics when I see them, but they're usually in quite small quantities and I just hoard them as a consequence. But now I think I've got enough that I should start using them. And then I bought this pattern, so it's the By Annie lunch bag, and I thought, how adorable will that be in those colours? You know, it's a really nice retro style of lunch bag, so I'm going to make it in these and just do it all patchworky because, well, who doesn't need a lunch bag? I don't go to the office, but you know, I go on the occasional picnic. So there we go. So the only thing that I think I'll need for this is the clasp, the metal clasp there. And it does also say that you can use iron-on vinyl for the inside. I don't have that and I've never seen that, but what I might use is Odecoat, which is a product that you sort of just paint onto fabric and it will make it wipe clean. So it'll make it into like an oilcloth type of fabric. So I think I'll just do that on the inside just to make sure if there's any spillages I can just wipe it. But I don't think I'll use these as the linings. I'll just use something else as a lining. But yeah, that's everything that I've purchased. I did go a little bit overboard, I'm not going to deny that. This will probably be the biggest haul that you see from the festival. I did go for 3 days, that was half my problem. There's too much to see there just going over one day, so you definitely need multiple days there. And then I had an extra day for filming and things. I didn't hold back. But like I say, I save all year and I'm happy that I've got things that I know I can use or that complete projects that I've already started. So I do thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave me a comment, but don't be judgmental for the amount that I've purchased. And yeah, until next time, take care and bye-bye.